Alright, back again with another set analysis. Um, the last one I did was Andre versus Nog. This one I'm getting into Antonio versus AJ. I've slightly edited the format that I'm using for these. I cut the webcam and I'm no longer streaming and copying the VOD over to YouTube. From now on, I'm just going to record locally. I know the last match was pretty laggy and sometimes it's hard to see what I was describing because the video quality combined with the actual lag from streaming and everything like that and the import over, it was all making it kind of muddled. So hopefully this will make it a lot clearer and everything like that. Plus I wasn't really using the face cam anyway, that was just the default layout that I had. I've received some requests since my last one just to analyze certain things or just to kind of only talk about one side of something. But I'm not going to do that because I do want everybody at Villagrove to grow as much as possible. That way, when everybody goes to like bears and stuff like that, everybody will be at their best. Plus, if you study this more extensively than your opponent, hopefully that'll help you get some more ideas. I'm not trying to be super biased and everything like that in terms of how I'm doing these. I'm trying to make sure everybody helps grow. And once again, I have to throw in the disclaimer: I'm a brainless moron and I'm bad at this game. So anyone who's hoping for greatness, probably not going to get very much of that coming through watching me play or listening to me in my analysis. All right? Okay. So let's jump into this one. We've got Luigi versus Marth. As much as I love AJ's Marth, it just feels like his character, it's not as good as Lucina would be. So I think that he is hurting himself on the select screen, especially in a matchup like Luigi, where a lot of the matchup is dependent upon going out, getting those back airs or forward airs to edge guard. And Lucina's will kill off stage pretty early regardless of percent, whereas Marth, you might be able to get some gimps on Luigi, but if he's already far out stage, he's probably at somewhat high percent already. So you just want to go out there and get that kill. I feel like even if AJ is going to play Marth in a lot of matchups and Lucina in a few that are specifically good for Lucina, I've always felt like Lucina versus Luigi, even in Smash 4, there were some reasons that you might want to pick it in that game, and in this game, definitely so. Not starting with Palutena is kind of interesting. I know he beat Antonio with Lucina last time they played a few months ago, but Antonio's gotten a lot better. AJ's gotten a little bit better, but not as much as Antonio's gotten. It's like that analogy that I always like to make. If you start at level 50 versus you start at level 5, level 5 is naturally going to close the distance based on experience gain. So maybe last semester Antonio was level 30, AJ was level 55. Now AJ is level 60, but Antonio is level 45, 50. So the gap's been closed. So you can't necessarily count on going into a matchup that you've had 6 months ago on Fleek. Palutena, I know, comes out later in the set and has some effectiveness, so I'll probably just do 2 games like I did last time and talk about each individual game. But for this game, we've got the Marth versus Luigi. Would have liked to see the Lucina. I think they start on PS2. Yes, they do. They start on PS2. AJ is really good on small stages. He basically has that sword which covers a lot of the stage. I actually dislike fighting him on bigger stages actually because it gives him more space to sort of AJ plays a style where he can do a lot of retreating fairs, and I feel like on smaller stages he actually can't do as many of them. So even though, despite what everybody else says, I actually like fighting AJ on small stages. Most people find success from fighting him on bigger ones, so if Antonio is one of those people, it could work out. But you are giving him the space to do stuff like retreating fairs. Stadium 2 is a fair amount of space off stage where you can go out and edge guard, but most stages in this game too, there's nothing quite like, with the Yoshi's Island Brawl. Well, there's a lot of the stages, yeah, I forget what I said. But, right. And I forgot to talk about Antonio's character choice as well. I should probably do that before I get into the actual match. Antonio's going to stick with that Luigi no matter what, and I'm a huge fan. I'm happy he's doing so. I really feel like there's maybe a small handful of matchups where you can consider a secondary, but honestly, solo Luigi is definitely something that you can push. The character does have some crazy stuff. And I'm happy to see him play with a lot of solo Luigi. Okay. Run up shield. So if it wasn't for it being on PS2, I would kind of point this as like an exact Smash 4 start. Antonio immediately runs in with a run-up shield. Antonio does some retreat, or AJ does some retreating aerials. Yep, retreating aerial. So run-up shield versus retreating aerial. And Antonio actually gets the better part of this with the rabbit jab that really extends his hitbox. Um, it's kind of funny. That's such a Smash 4 start. And these guys were two of our best Smash 4 players at the end, so it makes sense. Why did that first one grab? Wait, what? Did it clank? Huh? Am I missing something here? Like, how did this not grab? Okay, yeah, it's the video quality is like 30 frames per second, so there's some frames missing. I recorded it on that just to make sure everything would kind of, actually work fine and not take up too much space. I didn't want to run out of space near like when I would need it later on in bracket. So it just made it look like he was standing on the ground when he used his grab, but it was a Zaire. So AJ, good reaction to the Zaire for the shield. AJ is so patient in shield. Probably one of the most patient people. And he also is going to look for an up B shield. Not in this situation because Luigi's at low enough percent he won't get knocked away too far. But when you're in this situation against AJ, you've got your backs facing each other. I would just dash away. You are right here. Stage control, if you get in the center stage and control this part of the stage, you're in a fine situation. So what I would do is I would probably do like a dash dance shield. Or I would just like dash over to the left, come back a little bit to the right, and then like kind of pressure him from there. I don't want to attack him out of his shield here, or attack his shield here, because he's got good out of shield options. Like AJ's really, really fast with his out of shield options. I don't think up B out of shield is really an option at this percent, but like he probably has other stuff where he can just kind of bait out like a floaty Luigi aerial, then punish. That's exactly what Antonio goes for, and he does get punished. And that was really, really close to like what was it, fair up tilt, or fair up tilt, or bear up tilt. So if he had gotten that, that would have been a lot of damage. So Antonio, I think you were getting too aggressive in attacking AJ's shield. He's a very patient player. He's unlikely to drop it. If he does drop it first, then I think you have the advantage there because you're able to sort of react to what he's doing. You can kind of see what actions he's starting to take and then react based on that. So don't try to contest in those situations where you're both shielding, especially with a character with a laggy grab like yours, because that's limiting your options. Nice cross counter up smash though. I don't know enough about Marth and Lucina's dancing played in this game, having not really played very much of them and having, not really used that move too much outside of with Roy and Grom. I don't know in this situation if AJ should be going for this percentage. If it does lead into something big, by all means, go ahead. But it just seems like that's a situation where you're going to be lagging a lot. And if he does get that roll behind, or if he dashes away and then can like pivot grab, dash away and then like pivot grab back, that seems like it could be a lot of percent eaten. So even if he just didn't roll through, even if he dashed away, it just seems like that, or maybe even if he jumped. I'm not even sure. He might have been able to jump out of the way too. It seems like that's opening yourself up to a lot of punish. And I'm not sure if that's what you would necessarily want to be doing. I know that moves usually uses a read, and you probably just didn't get the read. But like, I avoid throwing that move out unless I know it's going to hit and it gets punished here. Okay. Okay, they're both playing neutral. I don't really think there's too much to say there. And it's AJ with his patented like fadeaway aerials. Antonio with some Zairs trying to approach some space. Good. I love to see this Cyclone. Okay. Alright. So that Cyclone's decent. And I really advocate for using Cyclone neutral, but I don't think that's particularly the best use. Because you're pretty far away from your opponent. You want to do Cyclone when you're pretty close up to your opponent, so it's going to be unreactable. In this situation, it does hit. But you're so far away that he theoretically could have reacted to that. If he like dashed away and then dashed back in, he could have eaten a pretty big punish off of that. Where I do like to see Cyclone, however, is I go back into this scenario. Okay. So you got a Zair, you come in with a Fair. So you get the Zair, and he has to throw out a hitbox to kind of swallow and beat out that Zair, otherwise he's going to be hit. Then you throw out the Fair. I would throw out a Cyclone where you throw out that Fair. So you've thrown out a Fair, you throw a Zair. He knows, like right now, he's just defended 2 of your attacks with active hitboxes. He knows you're in the mode where you're probably pressing, throwing out some active hitboxes there. So, hold on. There, if you Cyclone in there, you're going to have the invincibility beat out the Fair and pop them up, and then you're going to be in a good situation. So this is like what I was talking about with you beforehand, just in terms of how I've like watched and studied Elegant play. And Elegant likes to approach Lucina's. Well, I don't really see him playing any Mars, but when he plays against Lucina, he likes to approach in with stuff like Zair into down B. Because that, especially with a Martha character that likes to float around and press like big sword disjoints, you're going to be hard pressed to break through those disjoints. But if you throw out like a Zair or something like that and then Cyclone in, it conditions them, okay, I've got to deflect this, I'm going to beat out his Fair. Oh, I just got eaten by a Cyclone. So I think this would be a very, very good situation where you can just throw out like Fair Cyclone or Bear Cyclone. Just like throw out like a hitbox and then actually Cyclone in. Condition him into expecting the Cyclone in these situations. The Cyclone that you get does work out, kind of, but it's not really the best situation for it, I think. I would everybody jumps on me for like throwing out Cyclone way too much, and like I sort of deduced that from when I play with Luigi, I need to stop Cycloning in situations where I'm away from my opponent like that, and start throwing them out as more active Cyclones. True, sometimes you might get it out too slow, you might get beaten out by the Fair, but at least like it sets you up if you're fast enough, you can get it. Okay, so I just want to talk about this from AJ's perspective. This was a really good reaction from AJ to get for the to get out. He falls out of that, but this spot dodge and the F smash is really good. I would usually spot dodge and up smash, but he must have reacted to seeing the Luigi grab and know he had some time. So I think that I really like that. That's nice. But then the follow up as well. He stops at the perfect distance to cover roll in. If you roll to the ledge, he could have still like had stage control because he's like right here. This is exactly where you want to be on the stage and have stage control. So like yeah, especially against a character like Luigi who has trouble getting some stage control back and needs some space to work. So I really like how AJ stops here and throws out this F tilt. F tilt also, for me at least, seems to have the highest chance of all of Marth's moves to actually get a tipper. So maybe if he techs in place, let's see. Honestly, like tech in place might have even like it's arguable that he could have got a tipper on tech in place, which would have sent him pretty far off stage and probably led to the stock. So I really like AJ's spacing there. Sets himself up for stage control on a roll away. Hits like with a sour spot on the roll in, might even get a tipper on the tech in place. And he's spacing himself around get up attack very nicely. So really good tech chase from AJ, and then follows up with a great down smash, which is going to he's misspacing it, I think, a little bit. He wants to be a little bit closer to the ledge for this one because that way he'll tipper on the platform, or tipper if he techs in place or rolls away, and it still hits roll in. But even so, like he sets himself up nicely. It's like the right zone where he wants to do this. So this is all just like amazing sequence by AJ. Nice fireball. Yeah, because in this situation, usually I'm not really a huge fan of Fireball against Marth because Marth likes to float around a lot with aerials. Like especially AJ plays like a very aerial heavy, retreating fadeaway aerial heavy Marth. But in this particular situation right here, he's dashing in, right? He's trying to cover this tech situation, so he's going to be going for a full dash. So this is a nice little interrupter. I think Cyclone could have worked out here too, but Fireball is just another good way to just kind of stop him in his tracks. Fireball grab, though. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Antonio knows Luigi better than I do, so I'm not going to comment on that. But it seems like he might have been like better to go for like a fireball dash attack, because like the fireball's going to knock them way out of your grab range. Yeah, just like you did there. AJ. Okay, so AJ, I will admit, if you are watching this, DM me later, because this is going to be life changing for you. There are definitely times when Marth's counter is actually the better option off stage. I will admit that for maybe the first time in my life. However, this is definitely not one of them. Luigi, it's pretty predictable where he's going to end up, and you've got that gigantic sword. What you do here instead of counter, and thank God you tech that, is you can just run off, jump. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Can you even see my mouse when I'm doing this? Basically what I'm saying is jump off the stage, fall down, like, and then, so you want to jump over him, basically. You know he's charging, you know he's going to come up here somewhere down, like, vertically underneath of the stage, because he wants to be able to up back. So you can jump over him, fall, and then back air him underneath of the stage, because then when Luigi's under the stage, there's no way to recover. So like that's the easy, safe way of doing it. If you're not sure you can catch him with timing with the fair, so either just run down, fall, and then like fair to time it, or if you're not confident in that, just jump over his head and then like fall down and back air him into the stage. Both of those work pretty well for edge guarding Luigi as Marth. Counter, I guess, can work too, but like it's really tough to time because he can hold that thing for a while. AJ ledge trapping, always a pain. Yeah, when you're at 100%, I don't really see much of a reason to go out there, especially when you've got a good ledge trapping game like you do. I like the F tilt because, like I said, that kills. It tempers a lot and it can kill. So yeah, I like that. Ooh, Antonio with the sickest thing ever. You know, his amazing little turnaround bears, but I think he sour spots it. It probably would have killed if it weren't sour spotted, correct? I think so. He knows more than me. Okay. Um. This ledge trap. First fireball's really good. Second one's whatever. He's positioned way too far to the right here. There's no way that's ever going to cover anything. Let's see if I can freeze frame on it. See, Antonio, I don't think that's ever going to cover anything. Because if he's that far away from the ledge, he probably already has an aerial hitbox that's going to come out that's going to swallow and destroy yours. So I think you either want to be closer to the ledge with this one, or like more underneath of him. I don't really think that this situation right here will ever cover anything. I think you're way too far into the stage. So maybe something you just have to work on your spacing a little bit. Like you want to be out here further closer to him if you're trying to hit him with that type of option. AJ's ledge trapping so polished. Compared to everybody else at Nova, I think he is the best ledge trapping of anyone at Nova. Because John's definitely better than AJ at edge guarding, because I don't have to tell John how to edge guard every single time I watch him play. And like I do with AJ and his stupid counters. But John's definitely better at edge guarding, but AJ's got ledge traps on point. He always has. He's a Smash 4 player. Okay, looking at Antonio's play here. You're playing very aerial oriented. I don't think that's the way to go against Marth. Right? Because Marth has the big giant stick. Your aerials probably aren't going to be able to do very much. I think you want to play a bit more grounded in this particular situation. Only use aerials to catch him when he's like coming in or catch his jumps or something like that. You don't want to be like floating around in the air. You're not Jigglypuff. You're the exact opposite. I also think we could see some of these situations where you are tossing out the aerials. You probably could like there maybe go in with a cyclone or something like that. So like, how close were you to him? So don't cycle it from far away, but you're getting up close to him. Like, that probably could have been a Cyclone or an up smash. If you drifted in more while he was still doing the down tilt, you could have fallen in with a Cyclone and hit him there. That could have been like a short top Cyclone because you know he's going to come at you. So, like, yeah, I could see some more Cyclones in these types of scenarios because I'm not sure if it'll kill because I think AJ probably knows the DI. But at the very least, it'll pop him up into the air. You'll have, like, on the ground, and then he'll have to land, which is not what you want to do against Luigi. So let's look at the sections. Okay, nice little down tilt. Oh, does he air dodge away? Is that what happened? Yep. It was nice. Okay, that was all good. Hot damn. Yeah, that didn't look like it was the true zero to death, but that was a really good combo. Nice job, Antonio. You've been working on your punch game for sure. I don't know if you wanted to watch that again. Maybe you could have gotten more, but like I would take 78% from a grab any day of the week. That's a little sequence. Nair out of shield. Is that really an option? I would Cyclone out of shield, to be honest. I would just drop shield and Cyclone. Because it's got the suction hitbox, it's going to cover more of AJ's retreating stuff. That's what I really think it's going to be. I keep saying Cyclone, 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 and you're probably not taking it seriously because you know how I spam Cyclone. But against AJ of all people, I know Elegant struggled really, really hard with their treating aerial characters, and the way he started doing it, the way he started dealing with it was with Cyclone, because your Cyclone sucks them in, so like it prevents them from retreating as far away with their aerials. It has some of the invulnerability where it can beat out some of the disjoint. So it's just a really, really good tool, especially against these sword characters. It's one of your main hopes against it. So seeing you toss out like Nairs and Fairs in particular, like the Bears are fine. The Bears are going to be pretty long. They might be able to break the zone. But especially seeing you toss out the Fairs and the Nairs, it's not going to do anything against a character with a sword like this. Cyclone might be able to help you drift in, suck them back in, and pop them up. So once again, that's what I'm going to say. Just like experiment with Cyclone more in these matchups. Try to spam it like I do, and then try to limit down your possibilities from there. Also, something like dash attack out of shield will work really well against AJ because, like I said, he likes to do retreating fairs and retreating aerials in your shield, nair, and fair. So, like once you see that, you can just rush him down as he's trying to land. Less landing lag in this game than previous games, so it won't be quite as effective. But aggressive options that like dash to the left or right out of shield are usually pretty good against him. So you'll see over and over again like how good AJ's ledge trapping is in this. I see Antonio go for a lot of these he has like some pressure in the corners. A lot with plungers and stuff like that. It usually works pretty well against me. AJ's avoiding them all. So I think it would be worth it, and I don't have any good advice on this, but I think this is the third time it's happened where AJ's just gotten up, managed to poke and force his way straight out of the ledge. So I'm going to talk about the cycle in a second, but like maybe just try to evaluate, look at some Elegant or look at some Top Scott, like whatever, Luigi ledge straps, see how they're doing it, and maybe try to rethink your way on the ledge. Because I think that Luigi's supposed to be really, really good on the ledge, and I think you're doing stuff that seems like it's pretty good on the ledge, but it's just not quite working out. So if I were you, Antonio, I would go back, study, think about how you're going to play ledge strapping, make that an active focus of how you're playing your friendlies. Focus on your ledge strapping. I think that there's a lot of room for development there that could make you really, really, really threatening. Jab, jab, up B. No, that wasn't even true in Smash 4. Why would you? Okay. Okay. So jab jab up B wasn't even true in Smash 4. It's certainly not going to be true in this game. Um, once you get these jabs on your shield, I'm thinking about what would probably be the best option to do. Because AJ could easily, because at this point, like, jab's not going to be safe on shield, I don't believe. I think AJ is probably going to up B you out of shield here, most likely. Your up B is not going to be the best option here. Maybe just jab, jab, shield, because you expect him maybe to throw out like an aggressive option out of shield. So therefore, you putting up your shield when you're behind him, it's not like he can just grab you because you're jabbing him in the back. So I would probably just jab, jab, shield. The reason why, there might be situations where at lower percent you could try to gimmick your way into a jab, jab up B. But here, he's at 120. That would be overkill. Maybe if you like need a kill and he's only at like 60 or 70, you could try that. But jab, jab up B is just, nah. If anything, you just stale your up B a little bit, hurt your zero to death. Jab, jab up smash, maybe. Or jab, jab shield. Jab, jab shield's the best option, but jab, jab up smash might be good. Or jab, jab down smash, something like that. Rare uncharacteristic miss from AJ. How did he miss this? Maybe he was spacing for a tipper or something like that. AJ, you just have to clean that up for sure. As far as it's hard, I probably wouldn't even go for the tipper spacing. I'd probably just charge and smash a little bit, try to get as much damage as I could. Or shield breaker. Yeah, shield breaker is probably your best play here. Literally just turn around, shield breaker him. Something like those, along those lines. Just try to get some good damage. That's what you really need in this situation. Look for the early kill would be kind of funny, but yeah. Jeez. Did he just like fair 3 times in a row? Fair, 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 fair. Jeez, I'm surprised that worked. Like I said, fair is fast, but it has like no range, so you're able to snuff out Marth's aerials before he's able to throw them. But you managed to get way closer in Antonio or in AJ's zone than I thought you would be able to. And again, any one of those could have turned into a down B, and I think any one of the down Bs would have killed. Down B is just a better approach option than fair against characters like Marth. So that did work, but Cyclones would work just as well. So my point still stands about the Cyclones being a lot better than fair. Like again, you can mix up a fair, then like a raw bear, then a cyclone. You can mix those options up. I just think you fared way too much there. You probably didn't deserve to get that. I love the up B option from AJ there. You just press your fastest move to try to get out of the Luigi combo. I adore it. Again, great up Bs by AJ. Antonio was a good little string, but you can probably work on converting that into more. This is a situation right here, right? Cyclone here is really good because even if it clanks, AJ can now only use his fastest option to do anything, which is grab. Because you're not that negative on him. Or you're not that out of frame disadvantage. Honestly, it looks like you both got your shield at the same exact frame. It's tough to tell without 60 FPS, but... Yeah, so basically, in this particular situation, that was a reset to neutral, and he won the scuffle situation. Not neutral. That Cyclone, because it traded, put you into a scuffle, and he just won the scuffle. So even like when the Cyclone trades, it sits you into a scuffle. Really good move. Nice little juggle. I like it, I like it. Dash attack as a burst option is really, really good mixed up with the aerial, so it was good. I haven't been using that too much this game. Nice catch, nice catch. Ooh. Okay, I actually like this side B because it was a tech read. You were just a little bit slow with it. Yeah, you were slow with your tech read, so just pull the trigger a little bit faster. Reaction just needs to be a little bit better there, AJ. But you had the nice tech read or reaction, whatever. But then it got kind of dicey because he shielded. And did it shield poke or did he just drop shield? Do you think he was going for, I think Antonio, do you think he was going for 2 and then you drop shield afterwards thinking like, okay, he's done, I can just be safe here. Drop it and go for like an aggressive approach. I'm not really sure. That Mars side B is just so stupid from both perspectives. Nice grab. Such a good tool for edge guarding. Let's go. Oh, okay. Let's look at this. I want to watch the whole thing and then I'll go back and review it again and comment. Okay. That was just a really, really good sequence from Antonio. It did get a little bit predictable near the end because you weren't mixing up your timings at all. So, like, by the end, you could have been mixing it up a little bit more. But it was sick. That was sick to watch. Nice up smash. Was that out of shield? Yeah, just jab, jab, up smash when he's behind you. Yep, because Mars... Look at the situation specifically. Yep, Mars behind you. He has to kind of jump to really be able to do anything. So yeah, really, really good up smash there. Yikes, that was a good shield breaker. And honestly, AJ, I would use like 90% more shield breaker in these matches simply because Antonio shields a lot. He does a lot of front end shield. Shield breaker could be more effective. Oh, he just dies. I love this simply because AJ's committed to his dash. He's trying to get over there to corner you. So you doing this when he's already dashing, you know he's going to keep dashing most likely, and then you can just do the drive-by. This is a really, really good down B. I don't think it should have killed like that, but it did. So, yeah. That's a good circumstance when you can down B. When you know that they're going to be like trying to get right up in your face. AJ's dashing over there. He can't just like stop midway through. Otherwise, he won't get a good stage control off of it. So it was a really good instance where you could do that. Battlefield. Ban this stage against AJ. Just do it. AJ's too good on Battlefield. He's ridiculously good here with both Palutena and Marth. Marth, he can up tilt and stuff on their platforms. He can police the stage pretty well with his sword. With Palutena, he's got the ledge cancels. Unless you're playing a character who's just like really, really good on Battlefield, just ban the stage against AJ. Surprised it wasn't banned, honestly. Palutena kind of pick from AJ. That works out. Like I said, I think he definitely could have won the set with Marth too, or at least with Lucina. But okay, so based on that first game, AJ's game plan was pretty solid, but he wasn't. AJ's game plan in the first game was really solid, but he wasn't pushing it far enough. So, for example, he wasn't going and getting those edge guards. His ledge traps were good, but they weren't leading to kills, more so just like setting them back up to the ledge again. So, like, he was doing good stuff in ledge trapping, but he wasn't getting kills as much as he usually does off of it. He wasn't going out there and getting any successful edge guards. So he was really kind of struggling to rack up the kills. Plus, when you're playing a defensive game like AJ was playing, and the opponent does get in, it's going to be huge. And we saw that, for example, when like Antonio got in, and then all of a sudden there was 78% off of him from one grab. There was the other instance where AJ or Antonio had him at the ledge and ended up getting like 60% with him like that. Simply because like that kind of defensive style isn't going to be super sustainable unless if you get big punishes off of it. Like you can't just like chip and like quarter nickel and dime them away without having like some big opening open up or something like that. So like AJ's game plan was working, but like he wasn't pushing his advantages hard enough. Antonio's game plan, on the other hand, worked out pretty well. I think that he could have done neutral a lot better, which would have made it much more of a landslide victory for him. So, for example, if you were mixing in more cyclones, if you were playing more grounded as opposed to some of those aerials that were kind of getting him caught, yeah. So I think that they both have some stuff they could clean up from that. But I can see why AJ would go, that didn't work out so well. I was playing really well, because he was playing really well for a lot of it, but then he just wasn't getting enough punishes off of it. So Palutena also makes sense, because Palutena does kind of mess up Luigi. Not sure what was with the crawl, but auto reticle is usually a pretty good way to start. Okay. So I don't really like this roll back in the center stage. You are getting some stage control, which is good to have as Luigi, but I feel like you could have pressured him when he was in the corner there. He went past you. You maybe could have, I don't think back air as shield would have quite hit, but you probably could have like done like a dash and pivot grab or something like that, which would have covered some space, or like a dash and jump Zaire to cover some space. Nice, nice, nice. Knowing Palutena doesn't really have any super good true low percent down throw combos, you can kind of down air out of it. Once again, you've got Palutena above you, which is great to have as Luigi. That's nothing really too much to say about AJ. You did dash attack a shield that I think was up before he even had the dash attack coming out. Oh, never mind. He brought that up pretty fast. From Antonio's perspective, I think that's an up smash out of shield. Because back air is not going to really do very much at low percent, whereas an up smash out of shield is going to pop him up. I think you probably got an up smash there, as opposed to that. Or an up B out of shield, but that wouldn't have killed, so I wouldn't go for it. Really good jab, holds for just the right amount of time. Love the down tilt to cover space. His ledge trapping is so sexy. Yep. This is why you don't take AJ to triplats. He's so good at trapping you on platforms. There's the sequence again. Looking from Antonio's perspective, and there's really not much you can do here. You're floating your Luigi. Your weaknesses are being off stage and being in the air like this. AJ is just taking him to town until he finally overextends here. This is definitely an overextension. You don't just nair a shield like that, because you're drifting out towards the left when you're doing it. So you're drifting out to the left. He has his shield up for a minute. You're going to be landing over here in the corner. That's going to give him time to like dash in, maybe fall off the platform with a bear, kind of some semblance of stage control. Alternatively, you can just drop through platform and bear, because like there's nowhere else for you really to land. Yep. So like you overextend it there. So in this situation, really, really good. Just kind of stand there and control center space. Stand like at the corner of this platform towards the center, then react to him either dropping off, react to him trying to move in closer and jump. Just stand there, let him deplete his shield a little bit, and then do something. And Antonio, you did the exact thing that's correct to punish what his bad option was. So really good job from Antonio. It works to get away from this bear, but you pulled the gun. You're too far away. You can't throw out Cyclones when you're that far away. Cyclone's an aggressive option, or a get off me option. It's good for when you're up close. It does work out here because of the wind box, but for the most part, I think you were a little bit off with that one, and you do end up getting somewhat punished for it. I think that's a bad Cyclone, or a bad side B. I think that's a pretty bad side B and a pretty bad punish on side B. I don't know. I know you don't always want to go low against Palutena. Like going low against Palutena is pretty bad, but you probably could have air dodged in there, or just neutral air dodged even, because that would have given you enough invincibility to kind of like land. AJ, I don't know what would hit that. I would probably just run off and back air, sort of like what you did, right? Oh, no, 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 AJ. Calm down. Just run off, back air him into the stage. It's like impossible to attack when you're in that little thing. And he's at 124 anyway, so it's basically unattackable. Just back air him. That was an easy KO if you just back aired. Better yet is when I'm Bowser, I just down smash in that situation. Maybe Palutena's would hit below, I don't know. So this is a bad roll by AJ. It's a good rolling by Antonio, but I don't know why AJ would roll there. And then Antonio does what he should do, like right there with the back air. He covers it. How does he even get past that? Because Antonio plays that situation well. Oh, he dashes straight underneath. Okay. Okay. That was actually a really good option because Pal's dash runs really low. Yep, so hard to get back as Luigi against Pal. Nice, nice. I think that was Sour Spot. That was not a good ledge trap. Again, I'm going to reiterate, Antonio, like one of the best ways where you can push your game forward is on those ledge trapping scenarios. There was no attempt to ledge trap here. Had plenty of time, but he didn't even attempt to set anything up. Yep, nice reaction punish. There's a whiff, but yeah. Nice little defensive poke. That was a great up smash. That was a great up smash. Not really a huge fan of that Cyclone, though. Cyclone's got its uses for sure, but like, he's still got a double jump. There's stuff so you can burn. That Cyclone, on the other hand, I do like that one. It's a shame they got you punished for it, but I think that was a pretty good usage of it. Because if you get that, he's going to die. And like if he does approach aggressively with an aerial there, which he has been mostly doing, that would have been a great Cyclone. So sometimes like you gotta take it. Like sometimes you'll do something that's smart and you'll still get punished for it. So I think that was good. 3 stocks to 1 though. You're Luigi. You know you can still overcome this. AJ with an amazing patient wait there. Antonio with the Cyclone, because it's against AJ in that situation, like you know he might wait for it. And you've been going for it a lot, like the last like 30 seconds of the game in particular, might not be the best one to do there. Yep, Antonio is throwing the cyclone out way too much now. He's looking like me out there. And you kind of lost like some of the element of surprise. And they're in situations where they're always like AJ gets you knocks you into disadvantage. AJ knocks you into disadvantage, and then you try to do it out of disadvantage. So like I said, it's a good tool, like mainly for cycling that could be used out of disadvantage every once in a while, but I like it in like a scuffle neutral. Like you jump at them in cyclone, it's hard to react. That's when I like using it. We're off of a down throw. Okay, was he going for a roll behind? I don't think that was a good ledge trap. Finally, AJ kind of messes one up, and Antonio takes advantage with a good roll. Rolls are helping him get off quite a lot. Luigi at 666. This is going to be a 0 to death, isn't it? Never mind. Yikes, that was good. That was really good from Antonio. So Antonio probably could have gotten more off of this one grab, right? I feel like there's more to get than this. Yep. Wrong hit of the dare, didn't follow it up right. But this works out really well. At least it's the last stock. I love it. This is great. So I've listened to the buzz, and platform camping is one of the best things in this game that nobody's using. It's really, really, really effective, especially against a character like Luigi. There's really not much you can do to cover these platforms. He's got a shark with some up airs. Just kind of throw out some up airs to tempt you. Yep, but you want to make him into the air. That way, like, eventually you'll swap and get around below him, and that's where you want him. Yep, so Antonio's doing the exact right thing here. And AJ actually got impatient first. Yikes. So AJ's with his little camping is actually not working out the best for him. Even though platform camping is great, and it's great to kind of like make Luigi play your game, it's not working out for you. You haven't gotten anything out of it so far, and I can tell you're still a little bit tilted from the last little bit. But like Antonio is making this comeback, and then he up B's out of shield, at a percent wouldn't even kill at the ledge where he could die. So honestly, in this situation, maybe an up smash out of shield. Yeah, he crossed you up, so an up smash out of shield. Even if he did bring his shield up, it would have been pretty safe. So, never ever go for up B out of shield when it won't kill. Always, always go for it when it can. It's actually such a busted option. It's one of the future parts of the like future emphasis of the character, I believe. Up smash or up B out of shield. It's gonna be so big in the future, but only go for it when it can kill. I've been going for almost an hour now, so I'm going to do a little bit of the next game, but I'm going to probably either not do it as full in detail, or, maybe just do like a stock or two of it in full detail, then call it quits. My brain hurts. So where did you choose to run it back to? PS2. Okay, I think that's fine. You won there the first game, he's changed characters, but still. I don't really favor giving Palutena this much space. They'll kind of like bait you with auto reticles and explosive flames, whatever. Nope. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. So I've been telling you Cyclone in situations where you're like you and your opponent are just both jumping at each other, so you can swallow their aerials. It's especially good against Marth. I don't think it's going to be that good against Palutena, but it can work because she has that armor on her back air. I'm not sure what the interaction is there, but down being at a disadvantage is really good against people who play an aggressive game, but against a player like AJ, it's not going to work. So if you're playing John, down being out of stuff might work out pretty well, because he's a bit more, well, he can camp pretty hard too. If you're playing somebody like Daniel, down B to your heart's content. If you're playing somebody like me, down B to your heart's content. A lot of players at the school. Nog. Probably Go Fish as well. He plays like a pretty like heavy, aggressive Rob. So yeah, down B to your heart's content and at a disadvantage in those ones. But against AJ, it should be used as like more of a trade. Once in a while, as a disadvantage option, but like near the end of the last game, you're using it so much that he's now conditioned to just kind of wait. So if he's just waiting there, just try to recover with like a neutral air dodge into the ground or something like that. But AJ had great patience and great adaptation. You started to figure out that like once he got flustered towards the last game, he wasn't doing very many down Bs at a disadvantage at all in the first game. And then he started doing a lot, and now you caught him and you into his flustered habits. So that's really, really good from AJ. No, was that a pivot grab? I think that was supposed to be a pivot grab. Pivot grab would have been great here. So I think that was just a misinput series. Pivot grab, up smash would have worked out decently well as well. Maybe down smash. In this situation here, down B at a disadvantage is okay. Because he's in the air. So if he's in the air, he can't just shield. He can air dodge, but that's not going to work. So you don't want to down B at a disadvantage to a grounded opponent is specifically what I'm trying to say. Against an aerial opponent like this, it's all okay. Ooh, that was really good. That was really good. Wow, AJ really clean at the beginning of this game. So what am I thinking about? Like, what happened here that was wrong for Antonio? He tried to get too greedy at a disadvantage. AJ wasn't really getting big combos on him, but he was, you know, reacting to his panic options and then baiting them out and then doing a lot of damage based off of that. So there were a few instances where AJ like had Antonio in disadvantage, and just because he was patient, Antonio pressed buttons in disadvantage that didn't work, and then AJ got the kept him in disadvantage and just chipped away at him. Really good edge guarding from AJ, but there's nothing Antonio can really do, I don't think, to mix that up. So it was just like systemic abusing Luigi's weaknesses. But I think that just Antonio just needs to like be a little bit less aggressive and disadvantage against a player like AJ, who's a bit of a stone wall. And outside of that, like maybe AJ won like neutral. Like I'm just gonna watch a stock again. I'm gonna count every time AJ wins neutral. So we're in neutral. AJ wins neutral. We're back to neutral. Like that was AJ won neutral, got like a 15% combo, won disadvantage like 2 or 3 times to build up to 50%. And every time he won disadvantage except for one, it was all because of an aggressive or committal option. First time, committal option, a committal aggressive option at a disadvantage. The jump there, I think you're just putting yourself in the air, and that's not where Luigi wants to be. And then finally, with like a good neutral air dodge, like was a good get out of jail tool. Like yeah, there we go. So I think that here, AJ wins neutral, fine, it's gonna happen. But he doesn't need to get this extra. What was that, like 27%? And then you do not want to jump as Luigi. You do not want to jump at a disadvantage. You are a slow floating target. So you might want to just like dash down and like fast fall and air dodge, neutral air dodge into the ground. Something like that would work. Might want to just like kind of dash in towards the center stage, throw like a back air or something like that. Not as like aggressive approaching back air, but as like a covering space back air. But you don't want to jump as Luigi into the air. So like AJ's won neutral one time, we're at 51%. It's just sort of like when Antonio wins neutral. Except Palutena is a character that's designed to win neutral, not to get these punishes. He won neutral again. Finally, that was a very, very close situation too. But yeah, AJ wins neutral like 3 times the stock and closes us out. Really good execution. And Antonio, you're just being too aggressive trying to get out of the situation. So in this situation, Antonio's holding shield a lot and throwing aerials out of shield. And AJ just keeps pressuring. And finally, he recognizes, okay, if Antonio's just going to keep holding shield, I'm going to grab. Really good empty hop here from AJ. And then another just aggressive advantage like option out of here. This one's okay again because he's aerial, and it's okay to throw this stuff when he's aerial. But it still gets him a little bit punished because it was so far away. Another one. Yeah, that's like a situation where it's good because like off of a down throw, he doesn't really get too much. And you saw him go into the air. So as long as you see him go into the air, you're not going to be punished too much. That's good because he's dashing in. You know he's going to throw something out. Nice weight. Good up the out of shield. Great, 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 great. This is the future of your character. Awesome. That's great. And AJ, you just can't touch Luigi's shield. Pretend you're fighting against the Bowser. Except better. Surprised not to see too many explosive flames from AJ, but I guess he's just not keeping him at enough of a distance. He's more scrapping with him. Hey, Antonio decides not to press an aggressive option. And it works. AJ is so conditioned to wait for those aggressive options now that the non-aggressive options are working out really well to get back down. That's what I would call aggressive too. Because you air dodge right at him. Yep. Nice little combo. There we go. This is a great one because he jumps straight at you. When he jumps straight at you, yep, that's really good. He's jumping around you. Really good. Antonio throws out a lot of back airs at a shield, and I think especially near the end of this, AJ was catching on really, really well, and then just like landing behind him and shielding or landing and grabbing before he could back air. So I think that more different options out of shield would be good for Antonio. So like dash away out of shield, pivot grab back might be a good one. Up smash out of shield might be pretty decent. Yeah, I would say especially that pivot grab option, or like dash away and pivot in with a fireball, seem like pretty good options to kind of mix things up. Should be a game, right? Yeah, it's a game. Alright, like I said, I'm not going to bother analyzing the next one. Maybe the future time I can do it, but I'm kind of burnt out because I've been going for like an hour now, and I've got other stuff other than Smash to do today. So thanks for tuning in, I suppose. I hope this was helpful for both players. I think that next time, I think that the set started off pretty well for Antonio, but then he sort of started doing the same things over and over again in terms of those aggressive options at a disadvantage. And AJ was just capitalizing on those big time. So I think if Antonio plays a more balanced, more patient game, plays more of AJ's game, the more patient style, it's going to work out really, really well. And then these games will be a lot closer. Though I do think there's stuff for AJ to clean up as well in terms of this. Like, as I was saying, sort of with the Mar, he needs to extend his punishes a little bit more when he's playing the Palutena. Yeah, honestly, he played this pretty well. I don't really have too much more to say from the Palutena's perspective for AJ. So I think he played it a lot better than I could have, so I don't really have too much advice for that. But alright, this was another big brain analysis brought by the brain dead Smash player. So peace, have a good one.